Today I want to discuss the issue with Sami Khedira. I see most fans want him gone, erased, never mentioned again, but I want to analyze this a bit further, so let's begin. First of all, let's look at the situation we are in today. So Arthur played 345 minutes in total this season, out of, 900 minutes, 630 in Serie A and 270 in Champions League. That's approximately 38%. Not much at all. Other midfield, we have Rodrigo Bentancur, who is actually available but has not impressed us lately. And Rabiot looks like he is injured, but not that seriously, so he, actually might be featuring for France later tonight, I'm not so sure. Aaron Ramsey is of course injured, and that's his problem. He's always injured, so we cannot trust this fella. And Weston McKennie, who is, luckily for us, still available and fit. And then we have Sami Khedira. He was told to leave, but apparently demanded compensation, and that was never ever agreed. This is of course not confirmed by him, only what the papers are saying, and of course his agent. We know for a fact, based on what we have read, that he didn't care for money. He only wants to win titles. We know Pirlo does not want to use him, for reasons motivated by salaries probably, and of course this termination dispute. So this is why Khedira is not in the Champions League squad. So let's break it down, and before doing so, I want to remind you that the way Khedira has been criticized is not always a subjective opinion. It's what most think, Khedira is trash, and you are essentially on board on this bandwagon of hating Sami Khedira. But this video probably, hopefully, will help you to think for yourself. What do we do if players are injured and we are badly in need of personnel? So would you include Khedira back into the mix or not? Number one, it's zero match fitness. Rarely we see a good performance from a player who has no match fitness. It's a no-brainer. 2, we are unsure what he can add to this midfield. Quality is questionable and has been that for quite some time. What can actually Khedira offer? As far as I can see, not much. Number 3, sacrificing a development of a youngster. If he plays, we miss opportunity seeing our youngsters in action. 4, it is what most people think. Khedira is trash, so you are essentially on board with this bandwagon of hating Khedira. Not necessarily a bad thing, it's a negative thing, but it's a comfortable stance from the fan perspective. So, of course, it will affect him negatively because the fans are just ganging up on him and saying that he is trash. And finally, 5, if there is a financial issue to the thing, meaning we must pay him extra if he plays, meaning bonuses and so on, then it's not worth even consider using this guy. But I have no knowledge of that contract and those demands and additional fees that we have to pay him. I have no knowledge of that, but if there are, we might reconsider even considering using him. And now let's look at the positives with including Sami Khedira into the team. Number 1, we have actually another body option to use instead of creating unnecessary tinkering with like Cuadrado in the midfield, for example. You actually have a player in your team who is a midfielder already. Number 2, it's not about stealing place from somebody else. It's about having an option off the bench. I still want him gone because his wages are way too high and he doesn't offer anything on the pitch. He is to be used on emergency basis only. Number 3, I'm not so sure the quality with the alternatives is that much better. Portanova or any other youngster. Question is, what do we actually want? Do we want a progression of a talent in the team, which may sacrifice short-term quality performance? Or do we want short-term effect? I'm not saying that Khedira will provide that short-term effect, but it may be more likely that he will do that rather than playing Portanova, since we didn't see much from him against, for example, Crotone. There is no evidence, basically, that any youngster will provide that effect either. Number 4, if we are so desperate to get rid of him, play him. Attract interest. Nobody wants a player who is on ice for over a year. And number 5, there is a feeling that Khedira wants to fight back. He wants to play and he wants to prove himself. We have seen this on social media, and who are we to deny him the right to try? So the club decides and not him, but the fighting back can and should be actually rewarded, in my opinion, if the quality is there. The message that we'll send to the youngsters is clear: with determination and with the will, you can do anything. However, this only applies if it's backed up by quality. That's entirely up to Pirlo. If he sees something he can use out there, why not use that? I'm not so sure what to choose, whether to use Khedira or not, mostly based on uncertainty about his quality and fitness status. Also, bear in mind that I'm not for using Khedira on a permanent basis. I'm only arguing that he can be a useful addition in emergency cases. Arthur, Bentancur, Rabiot, McKennie are still, in my opinion, more favorable. That's my stance on the situation. Let me know yours. Comment below, and of course subscribe, tell me what you think about the video, and we'll see you next time. Fino alla fine.